It's very much a real thing to be addicted to stress and chaos. Like it sounds insane because it's like, why would anybody like want to be feel stressed? Like want to be in a chaotic situation? Like want that? Why nobody? I mean, in reality, you would think like nobody actually wants that, but sometimes more often than not, our bodies crave it. Like depending on the way that you grew up, your body might literally crave stress and chaos. It's insane. So like paint this picture. You're one of, I don't know, five plus siblings. Even if you have three siblings, like there was a lot of damn people in your house growing up, right? Pretty chaotic, pretty stressful. Or even not just that, even if you had just like one or two other siblings, but your parents were very stressful people, like they yelled a lot or they didn't know how to regulate their own emotions. And it was just like kind of like not even like on the level of traumatic, just very chaotic in your house. You know what I mean? Or like the news was always on, or it was just always loud. There's always people in and out. Like it was chaotic, right? So like you grew up in the environment of stress and chaos, or like you're always rushing, like you guys were always late. There was just always like just so much going on. You grew up in that environment, right? So your body, that became normalized to your body, to your nervous system of stress, chaos, go, go, go. This, that little, it was just like so much to you growing up. And so as you get older, you don't even think anything of it. Like you don't think it's weird when you're at somebody else's house and it's like that. Like you don't think it's weird when you're at work and your boss is being like that. You know what I mean? Like you don't think it's weird when you're in a group of friends and everybody's chaotic as hell and stressful and crazy and rude and this and that and it's just like always drama. Like you don't, it's not that you don't think it's weird, it's like normal to you. You know what I mean? It feels okay because your body is literally used to, and technically your nervous system feels safe around chaos. It's crazy. Like it's really crazy. And like I didn't even realize this about myself until the pandemic happened. Because when the pandemic like happened and everybody had to just stop and like we couldn't go to work, we couldn't go out, we couldn't go do anything, and I just had to like be with myself, it felt a little unsettling at first because I was so used to like go, 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 do this, do, around a bunch of people. Like I was just so used to so much stuff that when I like couldn't, it was a little uncomfortable. And then I had to sit with myself and like ask, why do I feel uncomfortable just like chilling? Like, why does just relaxing and like not doing much or like doing all the things I need to do and get done and it's done by like noon, like, why does that feel weird to me? You know what I mean? And then I started to realize and started to learn, like, oh my gosh, I might be addicted to stress and chaos. It might be normal to me, and it was, and it was, and it was. The thing about it is when you grow up in stressful environments and chaotic situations and stuff, like more often than not you can develop anxiety or just have anxious feelings or feel very anxious about stuff because you just are always anxious about everything, like anxious about if you're going to make it to school on time, anxious about like if your parents going to yell at you, anxious about anything. You know what I mean? Like you grew up in an environment where you were anxious, you develop anxiety growing up, and a lot of people have undiagnosed anxiety and then on top of other things. And when you feel anxious and have anxiety, like naturally, like what your body wants to do is feel calm and feel good. But if you don't even realize that that's what's going on, or even have the tools to calm yourself down in like a healthy to like a regulated way, you're going to self-medicate, and you're going to self-medicate with things to just like almost numb because like you just know that you feel on edge and you want to like literally take the edge off. So you're just going to be drawn to the more common ways of calming down: drinking, chiefing, you know what I mean? Or doom scrolling now with our phones, you know, just that is a way to just veg out. And like, but it doesn't actually help you calm down. It just numbs the feeling. It doesn't actually like eliminate, you know what I mean? Or other things like people who binge eat or play video games, or just like there's a bunch of ways of how people like numb their emotions and like numb that like underlying anxious feeling that they have, but like it doesn't work. It doesn't heal it. It doesn't literally fix it. That's why you have to keep doing it years and years and years and years, because if it worked, it would have worked. You know what I mean? It would have stopped you. You would have felt calm. It wouldn't need to constantly be like numbing yourself. You know what I mean? When I started realizing that this was going on in my life, and I'm like, okay, I need to stop. I need to stop, chill, and think. I tell my family this all the time, like, slow down, calm down, relax. They're always like, relax. That's your favorite word. It's your favorite thing to do. Yes. Yes. Like, it doesn't also help that we live in a society, like, if you live in America, where it is toxic hustle culture, like productivity. You have to be having itinerary, to-do list every day scheduled out of like all these things to do. And if you're not productive, you're lazy and you're like worthless. And that doesn't help either. You know what I mean? Like, so yeah, when you grow up in a situation or you've just been living your life and chaos. You know what I mean? Like I said, like your home life is chaotic, your job is chaotic, your friends are chaotic, your relationship's chaotic. And I'm not saying in the sense of like traumatic and toxic, because something can be chaotic and not be toxic. It's just like a freaking lot going on. But when you're always surrounded and like immersed in that, like you don't even realize it. It's not until you like pick yourself out of it, like even for a little bit, like even just for a little bit, and then like you get like a taste of it again, and you're like, ooh, I didn't even realize like, oh my gosh, like that's really a lot. Like that's way too much. You know what I mean? So the thing about it is you have to like recognize it. You have to be aware, and it's okay. It's a lot of us. It's like I said, especially people in America. Like it is a lot of us. This is really like normalized in the culture to be stressed, to be anxious, to be chaotic, to be go go go, this and that, like all the freaking time. Like it's really normalized here. So you have to just recognize it and be aware and be like, okay, now what's the next step? I got you. I got you. Mushrooms. I'm always gonna come and talking about the shrooms because there's so many benefits to mushrooms, like a million, but like in this situation, regulating your nervous system and like being present with yourself, calming anxious thoughts, and like not even just like taking the edge off, like eliminating that edge, like throwing it out the window. Mushrooms do that. And that's like it's the gift that keeps on giving. Because when I was first doing mushrooms, like I had no idea that it literally even did any of that stuff. It's just over time of me microdosing and macrodosing, I came to the realization of this. So microdosing mushrooms over time, or macrodosing, like however much you want to take, but microdosing is fine. Over time, it literally calmed me down so much to the point where it's not like drowsy, you know what I mean? Like you don't feel drowsy, but like you don't have that like underlying like this where you're always like, okay, what do I do next? What do I like? And like, you know what I mean? Like it doesn't, that feeling is gone. And the thing about microdosing and doing mushrooms is like you don't have to do it every day. Like you don't have to take them every day. You don't need to take it to calm down. It's over time. It like say you're here, like you're stressed and like anxiety levels are here. Like over time of microdosing, like you take it every so often, like over time, your new normal is just here, whether you've been microdosing or not. So like even when I'm not taking mushrooms, I'm chill, like I'm relaxed. I actually haven't microdosed in a while. It's been a minute and I'm fine. You know what I mean? Like I'm fine. Like I'm never like craving to get drunk or like craving like nothing. Like I'm really chill. Like my days flow so much easier now. And I'm more sensitive, I guess I should say. Not even sensitive, like I guess sensitive and like aware of when situations and people are very chaotic. Like I could feel the energy and be like, oh yeah, I don't want to immerse myself in that. Like, oh yeah, I don't want to go in there. It seems crazy as hell in there. Like I don't want to go in there. Or like, oh, I'm talking to this person and I could feel like the anxiousness or whatever like oozing off of them, because it's like when you're so rooted in yourself and you're so chill, you could spot it and like not involve yourself in it. And that's good, because if you continue to like involve yourself in something, it just becomes normal for you and you don't see a problem with it. Not saying that like, you know, yeah, sometimes you need a sense of urgency like in certain situations, but like that shit does not need to be turned on all the time. Like your nervous system does not need to be in fight or flight all the time, because you just don't. Like that's not good. Your body gets flooded with cortisol, which is the stress hormone, and then it's just more stress and more, and it's just like compounds. Like you don't need that. You know what I mean? So microdosing mushrooms, that really helped to internally like take the edge off, keep me more present, and help me to just slow down. Like that's like that helped with my mind and like my soul. And then like on like a body, like physical level, mindfulness practices, like holistic health practices, which includes like, you know, meditation, grounding, like taking walks, things like that. But even more than that, the food you eat too. So like the food you eat, your mindset, like what you pay attention to, like what you focus on, like all these things play such a factor in your stress levels, and it plays such a factor into like how your days unfold, which then plays a part into how like your life unfolds. You know what I mean? And when you're present and when you're mindful and when you're intentional about yourself and your thoughts and the food you eat and the movements you make and the people you talk to and the places you go to, like when you're intentional about that and keeping that in a more like calm, regulated state, your days flow so much easier. Oh my gosh, it's so much better. Like I'm never rushing and I'm never late. I always used to be rushing and doing this, and not even just rushing physically to like make an appointment or like get to school or get to work or something, just like rushing through life. And it's like, what the hell are we rushing for? Like what are we running to? You know what I mean? Like we're supposed to enjoy like the journey of life. Like we're supposed to enjoy our days, and so many people are rushing through it like, oh my gosh, I can't believe it's already May. Oh my gosh, it's about to be summer. Oh my gosh, now it's this. Like people are always rushing through their life so much that they miss it. You're missing it. You know what I mean? You need to slow the frick down. Okay? But yeah, so like I said, I took the natural and holistic approach to slowing down and genuinely healing and regulating and calming my nervous system so that my body like wasn't literally addicted to stress anymore. Like now I'm like a repellent to it. Like when I know, like I said, when I notice situations and people and circumstances and places are like too much, I'm like, yeah, I don't want to involve myself in that. And I come from like the literal opposite side of the spectrum, like opposite side of the spectrum. So like now being here, I'm like, this is way better. Like just things work out so much more better for me. And like, I feel like I get more things done. You know what I mean? Because I don't have like a million things going on. I'm not in like put myself in chaotic situations to where I can't think straight and I can't remember stuff. Like I get more things done. My life flows more like effortlessly. Like I'm literally just in the flow, like in a permanent flow state. You know what I mean? It's great. So yeah, if you want to learn how you too can use mushrooms and mindfulness to regulate your nervous system and like calm the frick down, check out my mindful microdosing program. I'll tag it below in the description. It has everything you need to know. Like it's going to teach you step by step how to calm frick down. No, but for real, it's really going to teach you how to regulate your nervous system, be more mindful and intentional about like your life and like how you live and how you move and how you eat and how you think and everything. And then, like I said, the mushrooms in general are just going to literally eliminate that edge that everyone's trying to cut. Like we're going to throw that out the window, right? So yeah, if you're interested, check that out. But babe, slow down. Slow down. Slow down enough just to realize like, hey, this isn't, I don't like this. You know what I mean? Like this is like we don't all need to be so like on 100 all the time. You know what I mean? Like we all need to be so like chaotic and crazy and this and this. We don't need to be like that all the time. It really doesn't. And you know what? Like I said, sometimes you can't realize it because you're in it. Like if you're in the jar, you can't see the label. You know, so sometimes you need to get out of the jar to see what's going on. And that's why when people go on vacations and stuff and they're like, wow, I feel so relaxed. And then they go, but they don't go long enough. You know what I mean? But then they go back to their job or something, and then it's like right back to the chaos, like right back to the drama. They go right back into their dramatic, chaotic friend group. They go right back into that stressful relationship. Like they don't give themselves enough time to like take a step back and pull themselves out of the situation, remove yourself from the cycle to realize the cycle that you were in. You know, so that's the second step. The first step is awareness. The second step is removing yourself long enough to like really like give your body a chance to like feel the difference. And the third step is mushrooms and mindfulness. In all seriousness though, you don't have to live your life like that. Like it doesn't always have to be like that. Even if your whole family's always been like that, everybody around you, you're like, you don't have to always be like that. Like you could change, you could heal, you could have a regulated, calm nervous system. And like I said, not feel drowsy and like you don't care, you don't have a zest for life. I freaking love life. Like everything is amazing. I'm just not stressed out. I'm freaking chill. Okay. So yeah, I love you so much. And thanks for hanging out with me. I'll see you next time. Bye.